Hey guys, it's Ben. This is not an update video. I've actually been thinking about this for quite some time, so I decided that it would probably be a good idea to do it. This video is going to be a 101 for how to act around a service dog. If you see one, I know there are people that have service animals that aren't dogs. They might be cats or whatever, but just for the sake of keeping everything simple, I'm just going to say service dog to cover it. See, here's the thing. It really grinds my gears when people don't respect the fact that my dog is wearing his vest and they, like to approach me and ask all types of dumb questions and try to touch him and pet him and feed him and, you know, throw a fiesta around him and whatever the hell else people like to do out here. Um, I know I'm not the only one with this problem. So this video is for anybody who has a service animal. And even if you don't, I would ask that you share it because this kind of thing needs to be out in the open, and people need to realize that this is a serious and important issue. I'm having to redo this video again because it was a little too windy out there, so I'm going to try to speak up a little bit, and I hope you guys can hear me over the weather and whatever else decides to run along willy-nilly over here. Alright, first things first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what my dog looks like in his service vest. Not all service vests are the same, but the concept is, so, you know. Pardon me, this is my laptop camera, so bear with me. Let's see. Sam or bear? Let me see if I can put this here. Yeah, that's actually a good spot. Here, can you sit up? Can you sit? Sit. Sit. Yes, I know you're distracted by it. Here, come over here. No, over here. Of course, it's going to be difficult with me. Okay, you see his badge right there? There's that. I'm going to give him this before he drools all over the floor. Oh, Jesus. Hey, buddy. Right here, that is his do not pet patch, and over here it says service dog. There's his face. So that's what most service vests look like. You know, they might be different colors, they might even be different sizes or shapes, but that is the basic gist of a service vest. So when you see a dog or whatever animal wearing something like that, that is your key indicator. This is a working animal and they are not to be disturbed. Pet buddy. So, and again, I apologize because this is probably going to sound very redundant. Unfortunately, I have to be redundant because not everybody out there is intelligent, and there are things that I would think that would be common sense to most people, but hello, but they're not. So I apologize for being repetitive and redundant, but here are the things that you should not do when you see a service dog. Number one, do not approach the animal for any reason. Don't approach them. Do not ask to pet the service animal, especially if there's a patch on the vest that says do not pet. I mean, I can't break it down anymore for you. Do not pet means do not pet. And even if, you know, there's not a do not pet patch on there, working dog or working animal should be a clear enough indicator that this is not the type of animal that you can just go up to. Not just because it's common courtesy and common sense, but you should also not approach a service animal, not only because you don't want to distract them from what they're doing, but you don't know what that animal is trained to do. For all you know, that animal is trained to bark, or to block, or to, you know, act out if someone comes near that person, because maybe people coming near that person can trigger something like a PTSD attack, an anxiety attack, You don't know what kind of health issues they may or may not have. Service dogs are not just for people who are blind, deaf, or have some type of paralysis. So get that thought out of your head right now. Seriously. Do not touch the animal behind the handler's back. That is so rude and disrespectful, and I can't tell you how quick it pisses me off and sets off my anxiety. Seriously. Don't try to sneak in a touch. It's rude. Get a break. Do not call the animal to you or make any type of noise to get the animal's attention, like whistling, clicking, patting your leg, some type of hand gesture, some type of kissing sound. Don't do it. Don't. You will distract the animal from his or her job, and you will probably piss off the handler. I apologize for my irritated tone throughout this video, but this is a very irritating subject for me. I've not been able to take my dog out in close to a year because people out here don't get it. And I'm not going to buy 50 extra patches that say do not pet in 50 different languages. Because number one, he doesn't have the room for it. Number two, I don't have the money for it. Number three, I shouldn't have to. I made his vest red for a reason. Red means stop. Come on. I had a black one before because I thought, well, maybe red will stick out too much. No, because apparently black wasn't official enough. Do not talk to the animal or ask the handler what the animal's name is. Because the second you know the animal's name, 9 times out of 10, you're going to call the animal by name to you. It's none of your business. And again, talking to the animal, in my opinion, falls under the category of calling the animal to you or making some type of sound to distract the animal from his or her job. Don't do it. It's disrespectful. It's rude. And no, just don't. Do not ask about the animal. And don't ask why the handler may need this service animal. Because quite frankly, it's none of your business. I've had people ask me that before, and I flat out tell them it's none of your business, and I'm not comfortable sharing that information. I don't know you. Do not insist or give excuses for touching the service animal or trying to touch the service animal even after the handler said no. And I've had that happen to me. I was at Target with him, minding my own business, sitting at the chair, and he does just like he always does. He curls up, he sits right by my feet, he lays down, and he just stays there. One of his biggest things that he does for me is he blocks. He uses himself as a barricade to keep people away from me. So, I'm sitting there, and this lady comes up, starts talking to him, and puts her hand out so that he can sniff it so she can pet him. And I said, don't do that. He's working. This is my service dog. And she said, oh, I need to let him know that I'm okay and that I'm not going to hurt him. And I said, no, don't. You're disrespectful and you're rude. Keep your kids away from a service dog. Please. I mean, it's bad enough that people out here let their kids run around willy-nilly, throwing little mini pooping parties or whatever the crap kids do these days. But don't let your kids near a service animal. I understand that kids don't have the same concept as adults. And sadly, I've actually had more problems with adults than kids, but don't let your kids go up to a service animal. If they want to, if you see them starting to do it, be a good parent, control your child, and say, you can't go up to that dog, he's working. Don't take photos or videos of a service animal. I fortunately have not had that happen to me, but apparently someone else who I know on Facebook has had that happen. I was actually very baffled to hear that, because that to me is just absolutely obscene. Why would you do that? Seriously. Really? Really? No. Don't try to feed the service animal. And don't let your children try to feed the service animal. I have his vest on him now pretty much any single time I even take him out of the apartment. Because even though I sadly still have to make this video because people don't seem to understand the concept of a service dog, it does deter people to a degree. Some days are better than others, and I was taking him out to go to the bathroom, took him back in, and this woman's little kids, were running all around, and they had candy, and they were trying to share it with him. And I said, no, you can't do that. That could hurt him. That could make him very sick. So don't try to feed a service animal, and don't let your kids do it either. And don't ask about the animal's apparel. Seriously, it's called the internet, people. It's called Google. You want to know where you got the vest? Search service dog vests on Google. You want to know where you got the shoes? Search it on Google, or, look around somewhere else. I can't even remember where we got his shoes, to be quite frank. I can't remember the name of it. But, don't have a litter of kittens all over the place. I understand that he is disgustingly adorable. I get it. He's my dog. I would know. He uses it to his advantage quite a lot with me. I know he's cute, and I know that his shoes, I'll show you them right here. These are his little shoes. I get it. They're really cute. And, I can understand your first reaction to be like, oh my god, but, don't have a stroke on the floor, people. It's a dog. He's wearing shoes to protect his paws from from the heated pavement and from stepping on something that could hurt him. So, don't ask about it, because it's just, like I said, it's called Google, and it's called looking around different stores. So, I'm going to reiterate these one more time, and I'm going to go through them without stopping or explaining or giving any examples to make sure that this is clear. Because I know, again, unfortunately, not everybody is intelligent or has common sense. So, number one, look at the vest, because it indicates that this is a service animal and that they are working, therefore they are not to be disturbed. Do not approach the animal. Do not ask to pet the animal. Do not touch the animal behind the handler's back. Do not call the animal to you or make any type of noises to get the animal's attention, like whistling, clicking, patting your leg, blah, blah, blah. Do not talk to the animal or ask the handler what the animal's name is. Do not ask about the animal or why the handler needs the service animal, or if, they're just a handler, or if that's actually their service dog. Because, again, all of that falls under the category of none of your business. None of your business. Do not insist or give excuses for touching or trying to touch the animal, even after the handler says no. Keep your children away. No photos or videos. Do not try to feed the animal. Don't let your children feed the animal. And do not ask about the apparel. Essentially, everything that I just said is redundant and repetitive of, if you see a service animal, walk away and leave it alone. Don't pay attention to it, because you don't even know if just by you oogling and drooling all over the floor that, your direct attention towards the animal and towards that person can set off their anxiety. Because that's one of the biggest things I have a problem with out here, is the fact that it's not just that they're paying attention to the service dog, it's the fact that they're making a big to-do about it, And some people may be okay with you asking questions like, where did you get those shoes? I want to know because my dog needs shoes too, because, XYZ. That's one thing, but again, in my opinion, it's better to play it safe than sorry, and just don't approach them at all. That's what I prefer. Other people might be different, but I guess that's kind of trial and error. So, thank you for watching this video, and listening to almost 15 minutes of me being irritated, but for a good reason. Please share this around, whether you have a service animal or not, because again, this kind of thing needs to be out there. This is a very important issue that a lot of people don't pay attention to. So, thank you for watching. Please feel free to share this as much as you want, and I will talk to you later.